and gentlemen, welcome back to College Football Live. I am Mike Edwards. Jimmy Armpriester will be joining me in a brief moment. But first, let's get back to our college football scores. We currently have Colorado State and Nevada going into the fourth quarter. Nevada leads 41-6. Utah leads beat UNLV 32-10. This is the Mountain West Conference games and crossovers. Air Force lost to beat BYU, 35-14. Air Force is actually part of Mountain West. Texas defeated Wyoming 34-7, as I mentioned. TCU, the Horned Frogs, Texas Christian University, just leapfrogged and bounded over Tennessee Tech 62-7. San Diego State defeated New Mexico State 41-21. And New Mexico dropping to Texas Tech 52-17. And there's still an upset alert. Virginia is only down by a touchdown to USC with 2:55 left to go in the third quarter. We'll keep an eye on that as we move on to Pac-10 coverage, where there are many games still going on. We already took care of the California game, 52-7, and the Washington Cuse game, 41-20. Washington State nudged out Montana State 23-22, and 7th-ranked Oregon pounced on the Vols 48-13. Tennessee is only known for their basketball. Bruce Pearl and Pat Summitt. Current games going on right now, most of them in the fourth or third quarter. Well, 2 of them in the fourth, 2 of them in the late third. Arizona State over Northern Arizona. Northern Arizona with the ball right now with 12:22 left to go in the game. 34-20. Red Devils. Arizona with just about 4 minutes left to go, defeating Citadel right now 52-6. Stanford beating UCLA with a minute left in the third, 19-0, and USC with a minute 20 up on Virginia. USC with the ball 14-7. As we move into a lot of these other conferences, SEC action, Alabama just crushed Penn State, and Jimmy Armpriester will be covering Big Ten action, so he might be able to have some of those details. Alabama beat Penn State 24-3. South Carolina beat Georgia 17-6 in SEC conference action. Florida over South Florida, as I mentioned, 38-14. Florida actually is part of SEC. South Florida is Conference USA. LSU beat Vandy 27-3 as LSU continues their dominance in the SEC. Arkansas Razorbacks over L.A. Monroe 31-7. As I mentioned, the Vols dropped to Oregon today. Kentucky crushes WKU, Western Kentucky, good college that my good buddy Bruce was planning on going to, 63-28. And Ole Miss over Tulane, as I mentioned, 27-13. And on Thursday night, Auburn defeated Mississippi State 17-14. Sun Belt Conference, Florida Atlantic lost to Michigan State 30-17. Michigan State actually 2-0 on the year. LA Lafayette over Arkansas State 31-24. Cowboys of Oklahoma State, as I mentioned, defeated Troy by a field goal 41-38. Rice over North Texas, I mentioned earlier. Austin Peay over Mid-Tennessee, beating Austin Peay 56-33. I'm moving so fast to try to maximize battery and time. Rutgers over FIU. Kentucky over Western Kentucky. And that covers all Sun Belt, but the WAC conference we still have going on. Wisconsin defeated San Jose State. Nebraska over Idaho. Hawaii over Army. As I mentioned, Texas A&M over Louisiana Tech. San Diego State over New Mexico State. Utah State over Idaho State, 38-17. Some of these games, a lot of these games are crossovers, so you're definitely trying to. And we're only covering the FBS. We're not going to cover like Big Sky Conference, Big South. We're only covering the FBS because that's what's going to matter when we get down the stretch. Big Sky, Big South, CAA, Great West, Division I AA Independence, Ivy League, Mid-East Athletic Conference, the MVC, the NEC, the OVC, the Patriot. A lot of these other divisions are going to be more focused on during the college basketball season because a lot of them are a good amount of FCS, some FCS teams end up playing in the pool of 65 for the Final Four. And, well, that brings us to our big conference of the day, and that is the Big Ten. We had a lot of huge games going on. Number 1 Alabama against number 18 Penn State. Number 2 Ohio State against number 12 Miami of Florida. We also had Michigan Notre Dame in a non-ranked and Big Ten independent crossover. Purdue facing Western Illinois, Wisconsin playing against San Jose State, Michigan State against Florida Atlantic, Minnesota against South Dakota, and Northwestern against Illinois State, Iowa against Iowa State, and Illinois against Southern Illinois. So we'll have all of that and more when College Football Live here on the M. Edwards Show YouTube channel continues. I'll be back with Jimmy Armpriester, where this MTC is located, and he will join me for our big conference of the week, which is the Big Ten Conference. So you don't want to miss it.